What we'll start off with is I'll talk you through what Batik is, I'll talk you through what marbling is, and then we'll do sessions on each of the table, so you can decide on what what really excites you. But ideally, I want you guys to have a stab at both the tables, because it's a new way of learning a new technique. So just a brief intro. I'm aware of the time. Just to give you like a quick intro in terms of what Batik is. So Batik is basically doing kind of adding wax onto material, and that wax basically resists dye. So you get like the color that is remaining is basically where you put wax on. So the other part is where the dye is. So basically what the technique, it's actually a very ancient technique, and this was actually started in Indonesia, and it's been covered in it. It's kind of found in Indonesia. That's basically where they say that the origin is, but it's actually it's all across the board. It's used in Singapore, it's used in Malaysia, it's also still used in India at the moment. So it's kind of widely being used still. It's actually also a UNESCO designated Indonesia Batik as one of the masterpieces of oral and intangible heritage of humanity. So it's basically a UNESCO protected art as well. So they are trying to encourage still to, for people to kind of follow this traditional art form. So I will go through in terms of what the steps entail in here. So you apply, as I said, you have like wax. First of all, you do like a sketch. You do a sketch on a cloth. There are lots of designs here. So you can see, like, you can just put it with a pen. You can sketch out the design on the paper. Then I have a wax, kind of hot wax. We'll apply wax onto the surfaces where you want it to remain white. And once you've done that, then we'll put that into a die, so you can see immediately how the impact is, how the effect is. So that's what we'll go through on this table, Batik here. There are a couple of things, but when I'll demo, I'll also do, you can do like really crazy little things. You can have blocks, you can put that into wax, and you can create your own pattern. So you don't have to stick to traditional methods, you can invent your own methods. So I'll take you through, some of these household things that you can use in order to create design as well. So I'll demo this. So that's in terms of the what equipment you need for Batik. You need like you need some sort of wax melter. So you can do that also if you're at home. You can melt it in a hot saucepan. Or you can have, like, if you don't have luxury of like a candle heater, you can actually do it on a saucepan. You need beeswax. That's the best kind of wax for doing Batik, but you can also try, if you have soya wax, you can try that as well. But beeswax gives you the best result. In terms of, you need a design, you need a cloth which is washed. So cloth which is washed is the best for doing Batik, because you don't have any residues on it. And then have like a kind of, as you can see, it needs to be sturdy to apply wax. So like a stand, like a normal stand, an embroidery frame that you have, that also works. And then once you've gone through all this process, you dip it into a kind of color and you dry it, and then you reapply the process if you want to apply 2 colors. So this is just to kind of, I'll demo just 1 color today, but next time if you want to come over, we can do the second color round. So that's basically kind of what we are doing with Batik. As I've gone through, that's the kind of the process. And in terms of what Shona talked about, the climate adaptability, we'll also apply that. So we'll take a couple of marbling pieces which are dry already. We will waterproof them, or we can also apply beeswax to make it waterproof. So we are also kind of really, fulfilling what Shona is trying to, what mission Shona is trying to go for is climate adaptability. So we are trying to protect the environment. So we also will kind of go through that in kind of practical aspects. In terms of marbling, marbling is, I've got like a couple of demo sheets here. Actually dates back to 12th century kind of marbling. So that's basically applying floating colors on thick water. And also this technique is also from Turkey as well. So we can see, like we've got a couple of techniques that are coming back to us from Japan, from Turkey. So it's nice to kind of go back to these techniques and really be as creative as possible. In terms of how this works, again, I'll show you. So there's to create, the main thing in marbling is creating the surface. That surface that you're seeing in those pots is actually made of water, plus there's a product called carrageenan. So that's basically it's like a seaweed extract that's used to thicken water. And what will happen if the water is thickened, the colors will float on top. So if you want to do that at home, I can give you instructions, but you have to prepare that water 12 hours prior to you want to do something. So that water I prepared yesterday, and I got it in bottles, so you can try and experiment with it. So it's basically, you can also use at home cornstarch. So you can use cornstarch, and it will give you similar consistency as well. So the aim is that you have to have the colors that are floating on top of water. So that's basically marbling. I'll show you a couple of techniques. They're like really simple things that you can use a comb. If you have a hair comb, you can just use that to create lots of effects for marbling. So I'll also demo that when I'm going through the demo. And that's, in essence, that's it. So I will hope you enjoy the workshops, and I'll start on with batik now, and then we can move on to marbling. Yeah. So first of all, we will just do the designs on the cloth, however we want it. You can be as freehand as you want. Yeah. So you can be as freehand as you want on this design. And the essence is that you will just put wax on this design. So that's the first step. Yep, and I'm going to move that away. And then once you've done that, you will put your design on this frame. Yes, yes. And I've got my frame ready, and we'll go step by step now. You can use carbon. Do you need carbon? You can actually do also from here, paper on your cloth. That's okay. That's all right. You want that, and you can put your design on top of the cloth. And it just needs to be like rough, because you are going to put wax on it. So just think about thick kind of thin lines.
No, I don't get why we were forced to draw fish, though. Fish is so cute.
Yeah, sure.
Speaking of sharks, I watched Jaws last night. Good movie. Jump scares once.
But I'll show you exactly what needs to be done. I've got hot wax here, yeah? So what we need to do is dip my brush in it, and then I'm just going to apply it on the areas I don't want any paint to go on. So basically, the areas that you can see here, there's no paint that's going to go on this area. So all the wax that's there, all the white area, all the areas that are not waxed, that's where the dye will go. So you need to think about like your design, wherever you don't want any you don't want any color, the wax has to be there. Yeah. So any areas that don't have any wax are where the dye will pick up. Yeah. So this tool is called janting, J-A-N-I-T-I-N-G, janting. So this is like an ancient tool that is actually used for batik. It gives you like really nice smooth line. So I'll show it to you. So you basically fill it up. So you fill it up, and you can see it's dripping. And you need to control the dripping. Like if you move it to this side, it will stop. And if you do that again, it will move. And you can do like really precise things. So if I just actually, I'm going to, maybe can I take your your one, just to kind of give a bit of. So if I'm starting from here, you can see how the lines, how the thin the line is. You don't have to be precise, but just to show you the lines, how smooth it comes out. And this is like really for like if you want to do thin lines. So I'm just following the sketches that was done by Lakshmi. Yeah? Want to use like a brush, it's much more easier. But like if you want really thin lines, that tool is really good. So now if I want to add some more things, I can add like dots here. It's difficult to do when I'm on a vertical line. So I can add dots with brush, and I can go as freehand as I want, improvise as I want onto this. The more kind of elements you have, the better it is when the die comes, if you want to experiment. So I've just got basic elements, like basic things from home, and I wanted to show how that works as well. So if I want to do like parallel design, like I've just got this like a foam board, I dip it in here. It's just a simple way of doing things, but I am just doing lines. Yeah, geometric print as it's called. Yeah, so you can experiment. I would suggest that you have fun with this. Don't go very precise, because the whole thing is you need to enjoy it. You need to kind of really experiment, and that's the whole purpose of doing something creative. You need to have fun while doing it. So I will move from here. The only thing is, happy for you to try it. I would kind of try this first on a blank piece of cloth first, and then do it. So as I said, it's just basically stopping it, just tilt it to the side, and you want to stop the float of it. Yeah, you want to try? So so wherever you've got wax, you won't get any dye on it.
Okay.
So the areas that don't have wax, yeah, the color will come on here.
And then what happens when how you make a design, like you take the wax off later on?
Yes, so what will happen is once it's dry, we'll put it into that color.
Okay.
And then you can have one layer of color on this. And to remove wax, once it's dry, we need to put iron. We need to put like cloth over it and iron, and then the wax will go away. Okay. Or you can put after color. You can put this when it's dried into hot water. Okay. Then the wax will come off. So two things you can do for the wax to come out. Oh, perfect.
So if I want to like do the background colourful,
Yeah, and then
the flower a different colour.
Yeah,
how would
yeah.
I do that?
So basically, you want to do a little bit of wax here, so that one it will remain white, and then you can color this with wax, and so you will have that area that will be white. So that's your white, and then you can have that area which is white. Yeah, and then you can color this. You can put wax on here as well. And leave a little bit of outline on the side.
Great.
We